But when people argue about it, I don't worry about it. Let them argue. And I don't worry about the end. What does that mean? Well, while I believe that hell is a real place, and I believe that there is an eternal punishment waiting those who do not accept Christ, I'm not going to sweat it. You know? It's going to be what it's going to be, and if I'm wrong, amen. If I'm not...
Chris, you know what you just did, right? Yep. It's the old Pascal's wager. Yep. And you seem to say, listen, I agree with you. All we have is this present moment. All I have is now. There, I'm in agreement with you. And, but when you say things about not worrying about tomorrow, connecting with that with your belief in hell, eternal hell, and connected with what you just said, that you're pretty much not going to sweat it. If you're wrong, you're like, amen. If you're right, and then you cut the videotape. But I wouldn't be saying amen, Chris, because if you're wrong, think about this. You preach for how many years of an eternal hell? 2 people. There is fear instilled in people. You're warning them of an eternal hell. They're living in which becomes living in a state of fear, and that they need Jesus. But if you're wrong, Chris, about that preaching, and what it tells me also, Chris, is that maybe you don't believe so strongly in what you believe. Especially if we're going to talk about hell, an eternal hell. Come on, this is a big deal. You know, we're not talking about some minor doctrine. About all the people that would have been affected by that preaching. How many people are affected by that preaching of fear, of eternal punishment? You just say, well, if I was wrong, amen. How do you know you're not to be more accountable for what you say out of your mouth to other people and how it affects them? Your excuse could be to God, well, this was my understanding. But your other perspectives are presented to you, other possibilities. And if you could be wrong about hell, what's to say you can't be wrong about Jesus Christ, the nature of Jesus, or who Jesus was? You only have your interpretation, your understanding of the Scriptures. Meanwhile, we have many different interpretations and understandings. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. And this understanding is based on what you believe the Bible is, how much authority and weight you want to give to it. So, just to say, well, if I'm wrong, no, I wouldn't say, because I think you could be held accountable for preaching a message of fear, of dogma. Okay, Chris, just had to put my 2 cents in there. Be well. I love you, man. I'm just trying to point something out. Later. Have a good one.